Good morning. What's your name? Audrey. In fact, Gwen, if you shut off your camera, you might have a little less lag. Good morning. Good morning, Emilio. And what's your name? Haley. Okay. You're the Haley. Good morning, Alicia. Good morning, Grant. Good morning, Marco.
Good morning.
Good morning. What's your name? Nice to meet you. Good morning. What's your name? Thank you. So I would have messed up saying that. Good morning, Zatali. Good morning.
Good morning.
What's your name, sir?
My name is Raphael.
Nice to meet you, Raphael. people on the phone are going to take a little journey as I close the door. So we are half online, half in person with this class. And unfortunately, those of you online, the camera that's supposed to be here for this class is not going to be here until Thursday. So you are on my phone. We were using a webcam first hour, but it was not working properly. There was no sound. So we're using the phone instead, which works a lot better than the camera that had really bad lag time. Those of you that are online, if you have questions at any point, feel free to unmute and ask them, or you can post them in the chat and I will try to periodically check it. Those of you that are in person, if you have any questions, just ask. We are going over the course description and course syllabus today, as well as some important Canvas information. Tomorrow, we're going to start off with lectures. So today you guys get a little bit of a reprieve, and it's going to be one of the few days that we get done early. Normally for this class, I do start right at 9:30, and that's just because I do like to leave a couple minutes at the end for people that have questions, so they have time to ask those. So please try to be on time. And if you can't, I understand. Some days we have stuff that happens. And I'm going to tell you what to do if that's the case in a second. So, what was your name? Okay. Just wanted to make sure I got you counted before I exit that. So, for those of you that are online, all of this information that we're going over today is on Canvas under the announcements page. We're going to start off going over the course syllabus, and then we'll go over Canvas. I'm actually going to flip the screen now, and we'll see how well this works out. So just a brief description. This is Arts 1301, also known as Art Appreciation. The basic premise of this class is to give you guys some basic knowledge and understanding of art, art principles, art critique, and some art history and art cultural background, so that when you see pieces in public or in your future, you will understand how to analyze it a little bit better and hopefully appreciate it. Or at least gain a little bit of appreciation for it. That's the brief introduction of that. So a general introduction to the visual arts is what this course is designed to create. Hopefully you'll walk away with an appreciation of art vocabulary, art media, art techniques, and the purposes of the creative process. Students will be learning how to critically interpret and evaluate artworks within a formal cultural and historical context. And you will weigh the importance of art in your everyday life. Which sounds really, really fancy, but basically it all pairs down to hopefully teaching you guys how to, like I said, analyze art in the future. And we start off the course by going over a lot of basic vocabulary and basic understandings of how artists go through their creative process. And then we will go over several different kinds of media or medium, which is what artworks are made of. And then we'll go through art history very quickly at a fast pace. So there's your learning outcomes. I'm going to skip through to the important stuff now on your syllabus. Of course, all of this is once again online. But first and foremost, our textbook for this class is Preble's Art Forms. It says the 11th edition there. There is a 12th edition that is out currently, and if that one's cheaper and easier for you to find, go ahead and get the 12th edition. It's not that much different. They changed the introduction and added a couple of artworks. It wouldn't kill you to get that one if that's what you want. If the 11th edition is easier to find and cheaper, then go ahead and get that one. Whichever one's easier to get a hold of. Either one will work. With the textbook, I do want you guys to try your best to read the chapters before class. I understand that sometimes we get busy and that can't happen, but the class does go a lot better and smoother if you guys come prepared. What I mean is we can have actual discussions and deeper discussions if you guys come prepared. Otherwise, it just ends up being me lecturing the whole time, which is boring for everyone. So do try to read ahead of time. We only go over about a chapter a day. Sometimes we don't even finish that chapter. As far as plagiarism is concerned, we do have a lot of written assignments in this class. So try to cite your sources. If you think that you might possibly ever be plagiarizing, go ahead and cite your source just to protect yourself. For citations in this class, usually we go with MLA, but if you feel more comfortable using like Chicago style or some other style, that's fine. I'm not going to tell you no. As long as you're citing, that's fine. I don't care what format you're using as long as you're using citations. But the most basic one that I think almost all courses here on campus uses MLA. If you don't know what that is, I can post a link on how to do that for you guys on Canvas. That goes for you guys online too. And of course, if you are still struggling with citing stuff, you might want to make an appointment with the Language Hub, or you can reach out to me and I can help you practice that. As far as the course, it is weighted as such. Quizzes are 40% of your overall grade. Discussion posts are 15%. Essays are 35%. Essays include all written assignments. And then your final is 10%. And of course, how to succeed in this course. Something that I forgot to mention the first hour is I really don't like failing people. But if you don't do any of the assignments and you kind of don't give me an option, my night class doesn't seem to understand that. They're all wondering why they're failing, but they haven't done any of the assignments. My morning classes usually do a really good job at turning all of their stuff in. But that's the main way to pass this class is if you do the assignments. But some other things you might want to keep in mind is communicate. Especially those of you, like I said, if you're going to be late, text me, email me, let me know ahead of time so that I don't mark you absent, especially you early college students. Let me know what's going on or why you're absent ahead of time, and we can work something out so that I don't have to mark you absent, because I know that that counts against you guys. Another example with communication when it's important is if you, for whatever reason, can't complete an assignment on time. For example, one of the students in my 16-week course caught pneumonia and she ended up in the hospital. So she couldn't complete her essay that she was supposed to do. So she let me know ahead of time and I was able to give her an extension. If for whatever reason you can't turn in your assignment on time, reach out to me and I can probably give you an extension, okay? If you are not happy with your grade, let me know right away and we can work something out. So if you take a quiz and you bomb it, let's say you make a 2 on it or whatever, let me know and we can work something out. Don't wait to the last second to do that though, because if you wait till the day before I have to submit grades for the class to reach out to me about a bad grade, I can't fix it at that point. So whenever something bad happens to you in the class, let me know right away and we can work out a plan to fix it. So I really try my best to help you guys succeed, but that also requires communication on your part. Of course, cooperation. Like I said, try to read the chapters before class, take all the exams, do the discussion posts, write the essays, do the assignments. And of course, commit, make sure you're coming to class on time, understand the class schedule, and plan your time accordingly. Now, the big one that everyone always has questions about is the course schedule itself. So if you notice, there's actually a discussion post that is due on Friday. That is your very first assignment. And it's a super easy one that everyone should make 100 on. It's an introduction. You're going to introduce yourself. And I'll show you guys where that is in a second and what it is. So that first assignment should be a free 100 because I think you guys can tell me your names and a little bit about yourselves. The hard part is remembering to do it. And I do try to send out reminders for important due dates on Thursday. If you notice, all of the assignments are due on Friday. That's because those assignments count towards my early college high school kids' attendance. So this course is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, meaning Friday we do not actually meet in here. But I still have to take attendance for the early college high school kids, which is where that assignment comes in. If you guys turn in that assignment on Friday, then you get counted present. Okay. For the rest of you guys, though, that's just an assignment and they're just due on Fridays. Sorry. You have a short essay over chapters 1 through 5 that's due on October 30th. The next week, short essays are 400 to 700 words long, so a page and a half. Like I said, if you use outside source material, cite it. But that particular short essay is going to have you guys choose an artwork and analyze it. We're going to be working on analysis this week and next week. So basically, you're just going to be applying the skills that we're going over in class. And I'm going to be showing you guys how to analyze stuff over and over again in class. And then, of course, the next week you have another short discussion post. Discussion posts are just like a paragraph long, a few sentences, so short. And the big one that everyone freaks out over is the censorship project. I hate the censorship project. Everyone hates the censorship project. If I could get rid of it, I would love to. But with both music appreciation and art appreciation, we are required to do one group project, and that would be it. The reason why I hate the censorship project is because it's a group project, and every time I do it, I get at least one group of people come to me and complain about their group. I understand the difficulties of working in a group. I once went to college as well. It is not fun. People don't do their part, and it sucks for everyone. The group project, however, has produced a lot of really interesting and some really successful arguments on the idea of censorship. I will go ahead and let you guys know with the groups. I pick the groups. Usually I will put all the high school students together because they have a little bit of free time working together and it's a little bit easier. And the adults in another section because I know you guys have to work with like work schedules and things like that. The easiest way to do the group project is to use Google Slides. That's because you can share the document and all of you can work on it simultaneously. So it's not like telling people what to do. You can all work on it at the same time. But we'll go into that some more in a couple days. And I do try to give you guys time in class to work on the group project as well. So keep that in mind. And of course, you have a discussion for November 20th, your gallery review. This is the one that people like to procrastinate on because you have to actually go to a gallery to do it. Here's a hint. There's a gallery on campus at the Allison Fine Arts Building. It's open from 8 a.m. until 10 p.m. You can go at some point in your day, like it's next door. Okay. But you have to go to the gallery and give your opinions about the exhibition that's on. That's it. And you don't have to use the one on campus if you don't want to, but it's here and it's free. But the reason why people procrastinate on that one is just because they don't want to take the time to go to an exhibit. And of course, a quiz and then your final exam. Assignments need to be done on time. Late assignments will not be accepted unless extenuating circumstances and prior agreements have been made. Like I said, if for whatever reason you know you're not going to be able to get that assignment done on time, reach out to me and we can work something out. How you guys are going to be evaluated. Students will be evaluated based on their level of involvement with the course. This includes attendance, participation, and completion of assignments by the due dates. Written assignments will be graded based on the level of prose, use of proper grammar, and attention to the assignment's requirements. Group projects will be evaluated based on level of group participation, attention to assignment requirements, and level of topic understanding. The final exam for this course is not cumulative. You're very welcome. However, it will be based on materials covered in lectures and readings over chapters 21 through 25. So, like I said, it's really not been that long since I've been in college, and cumulative exams, it sucked. So I vowed that I would never, ever, ever give anyone a cumulative exam. So it's just over the last few art history chapters that we're going to go over in class. Like I said, written assignments, level of prose, proper grammar. Am a little bit of a stickler when it comes to writing assignments, although I don't think I am. Like, make sure to have an introduction and a conclusion. Every time I give a written assignment, I get papers back without introductions and conclusions. And I'm just like, come on. What? You always have an introduction and conclusion. You always have transition words, transition sentences. So that's what I mean by like, I care about your writing. A lot of this course is opinion based. So I do allow you in this class to use first person when writing. My other courses I do not, because I think we've advanced past that. But with this class, since it is a lot of opinion and this is an introductory course, I will let you guys use I if you want to in your paper and refer to yourself in your paper. The only other thing that I really care about with writing, other than like grammar and spelling things right, is switching between past and present tense. Pick one, stick with it. If you are unsure about your writing abilities, the Language Hub is right down the hall. Also with written assignments, if you give them to me in advanced time and ask me to proofread them, I have no issues doing that. I also forgot to tell the first morning class that too. For those of you that are online, if you're an early college, high school, dual credit student, make sure to have yourself on camera at least once during class and turn in Friday's assignment to be counted present. And of course, do not record me. However, I do record all of my lessons and I post them on YouTube. So this lesson, thanks to these lovely people online, is being recorded and it will be posted on YouTube. And the link for that page is on your announcements section, which I'll show you where that is in a second. So if for whatever reason you do miss a class, I would recommend you going and watching that YouTube video. Or if there's something that you missed or I was going too fast, you might want to look at it. But if I'm going too fast in here, just tell me slow down. For COVID-19 prevention, Midland College is a self-reporting school. So if you come into contact with anyone that has COVID or you've tested positive for COVID, there is a form that you need to fill out on Midland College's webpage. There's also a link to that form under Canvas announcements. That helps us keep track of numbers and we have to report those numbers. So it's mostly just for us to be able to report accurately to try and do that. Of course, drop withdrawal dates, which we hopefully won't need. Hopefully. And the last important thing on here, my name, Amy McBride. You can call me Miss McBride, Professor McBride, Amy. I don't care. Just don't call me Miss. I have a name. Thank you. My email is amymcbride@midland.edu. My office is located in the Allison Fine Arts Building. It is room 195. It is the hardest office to find in that building. Literally, the tech people can't even find me. It is at the very, very end of the art hallway in that building, and it actually says photography, and people get really confused. My office is inside the photography studio. So if you go and you see a sign that says photography, you're on the right track. It says my name under it too, but people always miss that part. My office phone is the first one. My cell phone is the second one. And last semester we had to use my cell phone because my office phone was not hooked up for a while. But if you're like running late and you don't have time to do anything, just text me. And that way I won't count you absent. Okay. So just text me because I'm not in my office, as you can see. Or you can email me if that's faster. And that's it for the syllabus. Are there any questions about the syllabus before I move on to going over Canvas? You guys online good? No questions? Okay. All right. The last thing that I wanted to go over today is some important things on Canvas. First and foremost, the announcements. I will post periodically important upcoming dates or reminders on there. There's also some like random information sections, like this is that self-reporting sheet. If you come into contact with someone that has COVID, the link for that sheet's right there. Your welcome note, which includes the syllabus, as well as your Teams meeting link. And then, of course, the link to the YouTube channel, which already has the first hour video, which I'm going to be replacing since there was no sound on it. But yeah, so the videos for every day are up there. And there's also instructions on this announcement on how to make an appointment with the Language Hub if you need it. The next important thing is your assignments page. All of the assignments are already unlocked and open, except for the final exam. So you can go ahead and look at those and work on them whenever you want. I'm totally okay if you work ahead of time. I don't really care. I'm not going to tell you not to. Your first assignment that's due on Friday is this one, Introductions. And if you notice, it is a discussion post and it says this week's assignment is simple. I want you guys to introduce yourselves, state your major or your favorite subject if you are an early college high school student, and something that you are hoping to gain from this course. Then find one other member of our class and respond in kind. That's all you have to do this week, and that is a grade. Like I said, it should be an easy 100 to start you guys off. Yes.
Where do you go to submit that?
It's a discussion post, so you just have to hit submit on Canvas.
Okay.
So you just have to hit the reply button, and when you're done, post. That makes sense? Okay. Good question. Next week, your short essay is already up there. You're going to be analyzing a art piece that you have chosen. And like I said, we're going to be going over chapters 1 through 5 this next few days, where she'll be going over skills of analysis and we'll be practicing that. And it is a short essay, so the longest it can be is 700 words. So I didn't say a minimum, I just said a max. And then, of course, all of your other assignments are already up there and open for you to look at whenever you want to. And of course, grades. I am pretty fast about grading. I try and get you your grades the next day after the due date, as well as feedback. If you want more feedback, just let me know and I can give you more. I think that's it on that. Yes. Of course, the syllabus can also be found under syllabus. This also has all the due dates of everything on there. Any questions about Canvas? No. Okay. So some last minute things about me that might come up that I forget to mention because I usually forget this part. First off, Abigail, right? We were discussing earlier about issues. So I told her I do have social anxiety, so it might have come across. It usually does on the very first day, and then after that, I forget about it. So if you're like that, just know that I also won't expect you to like jump up and talk a bunch because I understand how that is, and I'm never going to force you to do that. We do share a lot in this class because it is very opinion based. Occasionally, I will ask you guys for your opinions. If for whatever reason you don't feel comfortable sharing, it's fine. I'll just ask someone else. Usually I ask for volunteers instead of calling on people, but yeah. Since this is all opinion based, there's not really wrong answers. Occasionally there's a wrong answer when we get to like the art history section, because I might ask you about a historical event. There's a right or wrong answer with history. But with opinions, there's not too many wrong answers. Everyone has their own opinions with art. There's some art pieces that I don't like, and I specialize in this. So I'm fully aware that there's going to be some things that you guys won't like too. If there's something that you do like, great, that's awesome. I'm hoping that you do come across away with this class with something that you enjoy. Now, speaking of my background, that I always forget to mention, and it always ends up coming up later. My degree is in art history. So what that means is that I'm trained in how to analyze, critique, and value art based on historical context and cultural context. I don't make art. Do I know how to make art? Yes, I had to take classes on it to get this degree. Do I like doing it? No, but I sure like looking at it and critiquing it and telling people whether it's good or bad. So that's probably why a lot of this class I do opinion based, because my background is my opinion. So yeah, when we get to the section about like making art, I'm probably not going to be as enthusiastic as when we get to the section about art history, since that's my jam. Also, I do geek out when we get to history stuff, and I might throw in some odd random history facts. I try to pick the fun, interesting ones because I know history is not everyone's thing. If I do go too much on history, just let me know and I can try and reel it back in. And last but not least, occasionally I forget words. Specifically, I forget American words, American English. I lived overseas for a period of time, so I sometimes will interchange British English words with American English words, and I forget. Like last time I taught this class, I kept calling a cart a trolley, and no one knew what I was talking about. So if that happens, I apologize ahead of time, but sometimes I forget. It's still pretty early in the morning. I'm not as bad with the 9:30 class as I am with the 8 a.m. class, but you never know. But yeah, if there's no questions, you guys are actually free to go. Tomorrow we are going to start off with chapter 1, which is all about what is art, which is a very broad general term to be discussing. And I don't know. everyone has their own opinions on what art is. And we'll talk about those opinions tomorrow. If you want to stick around and chat, we can. We technically still have the room until 10:50. But other than that, you are free to go. If you popped online late, stick around for a second so that I can get you counted present. But those of you in class, you're free to do what you want. And I look forward to getting to know all of you better, and have a great rest of your day. Yeah. London. Yeah, central London, yeah. Yep.
I have a question.
Yes.
So, how late would we have to be counted absent?
It depends on when I do attendance, which varies from day to day. Okay, all of you online, I got you guys counted present. You're free to go if you want. Yeah. And be ready to talk tomorrow.